All right, welcome back into another episode of Jake's Takes, and I am super excited for this one. I'm pumped. We're doing our football previews this week. I'm super excited for it. If you didn't check it out, check out the college football preview that came out on Monday, and I'm super excited to introduce my guest for today, my guy, Aaron Smith. I'm super excited for this. Aaron, how are you, man? You doing good?
I'm good. I'm excited to do this podcast. Let's get into it.
I know. I'm super excited for this. As I was saying, we're doing our NFL preview today, so if you didn't check out college football, go check that one out. But we got to talk about some NFL football. It's coming up. It is close, and I am super excited for this. And we got to start in our homeland. We got to start with the NFC North. And, Aaron, let's talk about the Detroit Lions. We got to talk about them. So tell me about them. How you feeling, man? I'm pumped personally.
Where do I start, dude? Where do I start? What excites me the most is definitely our youth, our depth, and our just overall talent. We got the rookies, we got the second years, the third years, we got Jared Goff, a good veteran for us. We got our defense is getting better. I'm excited for us all around. So, I could go on and on.
Yeah, I talked about it a lot. We did a lot of NFL draft stuff. You were here for that NFL draft stuff. And after the draft, my reaction to the draft, I was kind of iffy. I was very iffy, and I just wasn't sure about these rookies. I was like, we're taking a swing, but they have to hit now. And from what I'm hearing right now, they're hitting now, and they're looking very good doing it. Laporta's been playing great. Gibbs has been playing great, which is what we need, especially when you're going to use a first-round pick on a running back. That's what you need, and Gibbs has been doing that. So I'm very pumped for what the Lions can be, and, clearly you are too. We both put them at number one in the NFC North. Why do you separate them from the rest of the NFC North?
Well, last year we were a top 5 offense. So that coming back with the rookies that we just got and with the experience that those guys are gaining, it can only get better. Our defense is getting there. It's getting there. I'm hoping it's gonna be real good. We don't really know. It's more deep. We got youth. We got the talent. So hopefully it will come together. And I'm just seeing more overall talent than any other. It might be a little biased, but I'm seeing overall more talent than any other NFC North team right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. And looking at those other NFC North teams, you got like the Vikings, who they were very interesting last year with a negative point differential and still ended up being, I think, a 11, 12-win team, something like that. And they were – don't get me wrong, a fantastic team. They were a good team, but right away they lose to the Giants in the first round. So maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But now you lose Adam Thielen, who is a very good second receiver. He's one of my favorite receivers in the league. I love his route running. Okay. He's fantastic. Okay. Hasn't been as good as of late, but I just love how he plays the receiving position. And then looking at other guys, you got you lost Delvin Cook. He went to the Jets, which I think is a big loss. He was a very good running back for them. I think Alexander Mattison could be pretty good, but we'll see what that happens. And your quarterback's still Kirk Cousins, and I actually put him on my top 10 list, my top 10 quarterbacks. Right. I like him. I think he's pretty good. Yeah. I think their quarterback show helped a little bit in me liking him, but I think with Kirk Cousins as your quarterback and relying so much on Justin Jefferson, it's going to be very difficult to win the division.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to rely on Jefferson a lot. So that's probably – that's where I see their downfall, really.
Yeah. And then looking at the other two teams, like you got the Packers. Jordan Love, he's going to be solid. Mm-hmm. I think he's a pretty solid quarterback. It stinks to say because you wish – as a Lions fan that the Packers would just not have a quarterback every once in a while, but they do. I think he's going to be a solid quarterback. Nothing like Aaron Rodgers, nothing to expect there. But the Packers, the reason why they'll be solid is because of that defense. Very stacked defense.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting.
They've always had the defense to take care of business. But without Rodgers, you obviously see a drop-off. But I think Love, just like you said, he's gonna fill some shoes. Not as well, like you said. And then we'll see what happens with his weapons. I think he can make something happen.
Yeah, and then that leads into the Bears, and I'm not very high on the Bears. Talking about Justin Fields, when your quarterback is throwing 17 passes a game, I'm not very high on him, and I don't really think he's going to take, what is this going to be, a second year leap?
Yep.
You know, when you're throwing 17 balls a game as a rookie, it's hard to take that leap as a passer, and I don't see that even with these weapons coming in and DJ Moore and Chase Claypool.
Right.
So it'll be interesting there, but I'm not very high on the Bears.
Yeah, I mean they got DJ Moore, and that's going to help a lot. I just think they didn't have bad weapons last year, so what's changing? You know what I mean?
True. It's very true.
He's just still going to run as much, and that still isn't going to work. So I mean, in my opinion, they're going to be the same old Bears. I'm glad I can say that to them and not to the Lions.
Yes.
Maybe if I wasn't biased, I would be up on the Bears like some people are, but I really am not. So I don't think we're gonna expect. I don't think we need to expect much out of them.
Yeah. So I mean, that kind of leads into my ranking, which is Lions, Vikings, Packers, Bears. You have the same.
I have the same. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much you could say about the NFC North. The only argument could probably be like, I think Vikings, Packers, Lions. Like, some people might have the Vikings, Packers higher than us.
Right.
But everybody's high on the Lions this year. So
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much shuffling around in the division. I think it's either Vikings or Lions, and I'm hoping it's the Lions. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think so too.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're right about that one. But let's move into the NFC East. We got to talk about it a little bit. From what I've seen written down, you have the Eagles. You're very high on the Eagles, and why not? They just made the Super Bowl. So
exactly.
Talk to me about that.
I mean, last year they were one of the most complete teams in the league. Besides Niners were complete, the Eagles are complete. They got the O-line, they got the receivers, they got the running backs, they got the quarterback. Obviously, they got the defense, and now they're coming off a Super Bowl appearance. That just adds experience. So I don't really see any reason for them to do worse than last year. So if they do the same, they're making the Super Bowl and they're winning the division. If they do better, they're winning the Super Bowl. So it's pretty obvious to me. I think they're going to win their division, and I think they're going to have a very successful season.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. Like, Jalen Hurts, great quarterback. I ranked him as my fourth best quarterback in the NFL right now. The dude's fantastic. He's great quarterback, makes people better, and from what I hear, a great guy too, which is cool.
That's good.
And then their defense is so stacked all around the board. Losing Gardner Johnson will be huge. Shout out Lion now. But
I'll take that.
Yeah, no, I mean, their defense is still going to be there, and losing their coordinators might be tough, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. There's so much talent there, and it's hard to not say that the Eagles are going to make it out of this division. Yeah. Which leads kind of into my second, the Cowboys. So, who did you have? Did you have Cowboys or Giants?
Yeah, I have Eagles, Cowboys, Giants.
Okay. Redskins. Okay. So talk to me about the Cowboys then.
So the Cowboys I see it all over Instagram. They're getting a lot of hate right now. I mean, that's probably just because they're the Cowboys and people love to hate on Dak. They love to hate on America's team. So I mean, a lot of people don't want them or think they're going to do good, but I actually think they're going to have a somewhat successful season compared to their last few. They're not going to win the division, but they're going to have a solid season, make the playoffs, do something maybe. But I see Pollard having a good year. I see Dak having somewhat of a good year, and then him and CD as the connection should work out pretty well. And we'll see what happens with the defense.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that statement 100%. But looking at the Cowboys, for me, the question is, can Dak take care of the football? And I feel like that's just the question because he throws so many interceptions. And if Dak didn't do that, he would be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But that's his barrier. If he can get past that, they would be so good because you're bringing a guy like Brandon Cooks also to that receiving core. So now you got Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, all these guys are so talented at receiving. I didn't even say CeeDee Lamb. They're so talented. And, that's a very stacked offense. And Pollard showed you that he's a very good running back as well. So that offense is very stacked. And then you look at the defense. They were the third best defense in football last year with Micah Parsons. He's a monster. He's so good at football.
The defense should be very good this year. I think Micah Parsons, if you can believe it, is going to be even better. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if he might win DPOY. He's going to do something crazy. I can see it coming. And then they have Trayvon Diggs, obviously.
Trayvon Diggs, yep.
People love to hate on him too, but I mean, he gets picks.
He's still a very good
He makes
corner.
plays. And then they just got Gilmore, right?
Yes.
So that'll be a great veteran to guide him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe help him with his like man coverage besides picks, because some people say that's all he does. But I think they're gonna take a leap and have a pretty good season.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. So putting them second in that division is no knock. I think they're going to be very good.
For sure.
And then that leads into 3, which is the New York Giants. I think the Giants are going to have a solid year. Like, they've definitely figured something out with Daniel Jones as their quarterback, being able to use him in the run. And I think Brian Daboll is an unbelievable coach.
Yeah, I know you like him.
He's a fantastic coach and just puts people in the right spots. And the fact that they had a playoff win last year is just unbelievable. I'm pretty high on the Giants. I like them a lot. I'm still putting them at 3rd in the division because, like, I'm just not sure how much better you can make that team because they didn't get better on paper-wise. And I was very high on them last year, but I just don't know. I think it's going to be interesting looking at them this year. I think their defense will be good. I think Daniel Jones is going to have to take a step up for them to be any better than they were last year.
Yeah, I have the same perspective. I think that Waller is going to help out.
Yes.
He's really the only, on paper, like you said, that made them look better. And then I think Saquon is going to have a consistent year. So we'll see what happens. I think they're going to be the team that makes this division competitive. I don't know if they're going to get second over the Cowboys or whatever, but they're going to make it competitive. They'll probably have a pretty good record for a 3rd spot in the division.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll see if they can jump the Cowboys, make it interesting.
Yeah, and then looking at the Commanders, we don't have to talk about them too long. I just don't love them this year. Their defense is gonna be a challenge. Like, they're gonna be pretty good there because Chase Young's coming back.
Yeah, Chase Young should help a lot.
Yeah, so I'm hoping there at least that their defense will be solid, but you don't have much on the offensive end, and that's very difficult to win football games when you don't have that,
Yeah, they're missing the quarterback, really. I mean, they just named Sam Howell, I think.
Yes, I think it is Sam Howell. Yeah.
So, I mean, he has upside. Hopefully he'll do something. I kind of like him. I kind of liked him in college, so hopefully he'll do something good. He's got the weapons. Dotson should have a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Terry's obviously going to have a good year. So, I mean, we'll see if Howell can perform, but like realistically.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough to – no offense to Sam Howell, but it's tough to win when he's the starting quarterback,
right.
Especially in that division, which we just talked about, pretty stacked. So that moves us into the NFC South. Let's get to who you had winning. You have the Saints winning.
Yeah,
so talk to me about
I have
the
Saints, and the funny thing is, it's really not what I see in the Saints, but what I don't see in the rest of the division.
Okay.
So I think the Saints, they got Carr, which is going to help a lot.
Yes.
They got Jamal Williams, which is going to help in the running back spot. And they just have more talent than the rest of the teams.
Yeah.
So
that's
I don't
true.
think Baker's going to do anything. I think Bryce Young's going to have a decent year, but I don't think he's going to do much win-wise. And then you got Bijan and Atlanta. So, it's not really that I think the Saints are going to be great. It's just that I don't see the division and as a whole being any good.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, for me, I like the Saints. I think they're pretty good. Derek Carr is a great get, and I think Dennis Allen could definitely do some stuff with him, which would be nice for the Saints. And you're missing Kamara for a little bit, but that would be all right. And he suspended 4 or 5 games, something like that, a couple of games.
But they got, that's why Jamal will help.
That's why Jamal will help, definitely. So, looking at it, yes, on paper, Saints probably have the best roster, but dude, I'm pretty high on the Panthers. I kind of like the Panthers.
Okay.
I'm kind of in this year.
They did a lot this offseason.
Yeah, they did a lot this offseason. They got the number 1 pick. They got Bryce Young, and I think Bryce Young is an absolute baller. Okay. He's definitely going to take some time to develop, especially being a small quarterback in the NFL. That's what we talked about a lot going into the draft.
Right.
So that'll be interesting to see, but I like some of the additions they got. They got Adam Thielen. They really stacked that defense. I think it'll be interesting. The division's going to be weird because there's not going to be many wins in the division because I could see all of them finishing either near each other. I don't think the Bucs are going to be very good. Or the Bucs might be the only one that's near the bottom. But looking at it, it's The Falcons, they're going to win a few games. The Saints are going to win a few games. And the Panthers are going to win a few games. I think it's going to be a 3-team race. And this year, like, the Panthers were so close without a quarterback last year. So, and, I mean, Sam Darnold, like, solid quarterback, but nothing crazy. So I think with a quarterback, you add in a guy like Bryce Young, I think he can put them over the top and get them the division.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that they got a new head coach, and I think a new head coach, new quarterback, especially one that's named Bryce Young. Yes. I think that's a good combination for turning the organization around. Yeah, and they got some veterans over the offseason, so we'll see what they can do. I don't know if they're going to be over 500, but they'll be around there. So.
Yeah, no, it's definitely kind of a boring division. Yeah. So we don't have to talk about it too much. But I'm pretty high on like the Panthers are my team out of that division for this year. And I see the Saints' point. It's just I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'm not the biggest.
I think another point is Carr has weapons too. So
yes.
So when you have weapons and then you bring in a quarterback like Carr,
I mean Michael Thomas coming back.
Coming back. Olave. I mean they got guys. So we'll
it's definitely gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that division just to see how it all plays out. Yeah. That leads into the NFC West. So we both had the 49ers. So let's talk about the Niners and why we're staying there a little bit. Talk to me about them.
Yeah, I think the Niners have been very consistent over the past couple of years. They're another team like the Eagles where they're very full of talent.
Yes.
I mean their offense is stacked. Their defense has very good players. Bosa's coming off he won DPOY. You got Fred Warner is one of the best linebackers in the league.
Yes.
So those kind of guys are just. I mean, they're going to put you at the top of the division, no matter who your coach is, no matter what. And they got Shannon. Mm-hmm. So like, I mean, that's the thing. When I look at the team, it's just I don't see any faults really. Maybe you can say Purdy's not that great, but like, I mean, he's coming off a decent season for a rookie. So
he might not even start. I mean, Trey Lance is back.
We're gonna have to look. We're gonna have to see what happens.
Yeah.
We don't really know.
I mean, that's what makes the 49ers so interesting is, like, we don't even know their quarterback, but we have so much respect for them that we're putting them, like,
that's how much talent they have.
It's
insane.
I mean, it's unbelievable looking at that. And you talked about it with the defense of Bosa and Warner and that stacked D-line. Yep. The D-line's unbelievable. And Warner, I think, is the best linebacker in football. Yeah. He is unbelievable.
And they got a couple good DBs, too. So, I mean, they're full, or they're stacked back there.
Yeah, and then, like, on the offensive end, even if it is Purdy, like Purdy was not bad last year at all.
No.
He was a very good game manager and was perfect for what they needed. Like Jimmy G couldn't do the stuff that Purdy did. He almost made their offense more dynamic. And if he doesn't get hurt in that Eagles game, we don't know what happens. Like that could be a crazy game. And then they lose, I think it was Juwan Johnson or something as their quarterback. They lose him too. And then Christian McCaffrey's left as your quarterback. Like you're not going to win like that, you know, but if that game turns into anything else, they could win and be playing in the Super Bowl.
I mean, if we've seen it before in the past, and we have teams with a defense and teams with weapons, it really doesn't matter who you have at quarterback because it's an NFL quarterback. If he connects with the coach and he connects with the other players, it's just going to work out. Yeah. So I don't see them like. They're going to be good.
Yes.
They're going to be good.
100%. All right, well, we are going to take a little break, and then we're going to get into the AFC, and we'll get into some other stuff, too.
Hello. This is Giovanni Mosheri. You might have heard me a couple times on Jake's Takes. I am the sports media director of Oakland University's campus radio station, WXOU, and I've been the host for about 2 years of a weekly sports show called The Jomo Show, where we cover all of Oakland University athletics, including a weekly update on scores and highlights, as well as interviews with athletes or those otherwise involved in athletics. You can listen to The Jomo Show live on WXOU Thursdays at 6, or you can tune in to me afterwards on Spotify. It's The Jomo Show.
All right, welcome back into the show, and we are going to finish the NFC West, and then we're going to get to some of our AFC picks. So let's talk about it. We closed talking about the 49ers, so now we got to talk about the rest of the division. So let's get to my second, probably your second too, which is the Seahawks. Let's talk about them a little bit. What are your thoughts on them? Just lay it on me.
I don't like the Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
I don't like them.
All right.
They are my second pick, but I don't like them. So, I mean, I think Geno's going to have another solid year. I think DK is going to have another solid year. I think their defense is just young and talented. So, I mean, I expect them to show out. And I don't know. I expect them to be worse than the Niners, but a solid team overall. So.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, they brought in a decent amount. They got Jackson Smith-Njigba. They got Jalen Carter. I mean, like, they brought in some guys. Or they didn't get Jalen Carter. The Eagles got Jalen Carter. I thought they should have gotten
You
Jalen
wanted
Carter.
them to.
Yeah,
I
wanted them to get
that,
Jalen Carter. But they got the corner. What's his name?
Witherspoon.
Yeah. I thought that was a good pick.
Which is unbelievable because now they have stacked corners.
I know. Their corners
Their DBs are amazing.
Him and Tariq Woolen, like,
no doubt.
I mean, that's going to be stacked over there at the corner position.
Yep.
So the Seahawks will definitely be a team that's going to compete for that NFC West title. And, I mean, I just think the Niners are a little better. We talked about them. They're just a little more complete on that end. So I could see the Seahawks and the Lions are both in very similar spots. And, like, that's just young talent that's maturing and getting better, you know? So, and even last year, like, they finished the exact same. They finished the same record.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks just had that stupid tiebreaker over us.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like,
they're going to be good.
Yes,
they're going
to be good, and I'm definitely excited to see where that
Kenneth
lands.
Walker breakout year. Even better than last year. The dude,
I mean,
he's going to go crazy, and that's the only guy I'm going to be rooting for on that team.
All right, let's move into the Rams a little bit. I have the Rams in my third, and I mean, a lot of people are just counting them out completely. I'm not there yet. I kind of like I have hope for Stafford coming back. You know, Stafford's come back from a lot of injuries in our time as a Lions fan, and I think he's going to end up being really good. They're getting Kupp back, so Kupp's one of the best receivers in the game, and then you still have Aaron Donald on the defensive end. You don't have much else, but you still have Aaron Donald, you know. So I still think that can give you some solid wins, and Stafford's just not going to roll over, and that's why I think the Rams are the clear number 3 in this division.
Yeah, I agree. I'm starting to notice that on a lot of these divisions, there's a 2 and 3 spots that are going to make these divisions competitive. I think that Stafford is going to be very good. People quickly forget how good Cooper Kupp was.
Yes.
And I mean, with the training staff that these NFL teams have, there's no doubt that he's going to be back at that level.
Yeah.
So with that connection with Stafford, he's just going to have another great year. Maybe not as good as last time because that was unbelievable, but I think we're going to see a vintage Cooper Kupp season. I think that they're going to be a pretty good team, and they're going to make it competitive for the Seahawks and the Niners.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%, which kind of leads into our last team, which is the Arizona Cardinals. We don't have to talk about them too much, but they got Kyler, and they traded their 3rd overall pick this year. And traded down. I don't remember who they drafted. They went to like 11, right?
I think they might have gotten an O-lineman.
Yes, they did get an O-lineman.
Was it the Ohio State guy? Maybe.
Parrish? I don't know. Whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But they didn't build up enough to be like a team. They're
not going to bounce back this year.
No. They lost D-Hop. They basically just let him go for nothing, you know. And looking at it, it's just not going to be great.
New coach too,
which is
going to be tough.
I kind of feel bad for Kyler. I really do.
Yeah.
Kyler's been carrying this team since day one, and it's just going to continue to be that way. I don't think the Cardinals are going to be anything. They're probably – I mean, I could see a world where they finish the worst in the NFC. I could.
Yeah, I don't expect that. Like, I don't expect them to do anything better than bottom 3 of the conference. And they lost their coach. They lost all of their big-name players in the past couple of years besides Kyler. So they went from, like, one of the team you really want to watch to a team that you just don't even care about. So I don't even think we need to talk about that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 100%. All right, let's switch over to the AFC. Okay, we went through the NFC, and we'll give you our NFC playoff picks later, but we're going to just switch over AFC and go through each team. So let's start in the AFC East, okay? I think this division is very interesting. I'm very excited for it, and you have the Bills coming out of this. So talk to me about the Bills, and do you see some uptick this year? Are you higher on the Bills? What's going on with your Bills to take?
So I am a Josh Allen guy. I like Josh Allen. I think that he's a great player. I think he's going to make a leap this year to be even better.
Okay.
He's kind of been like that MVP candidate, but behind Mahomes kind of guy, like this entire past couple of years. So I think he's going to make a leap. Especially, I mean, this Diggs connection it's going to keep getting better. So, yeah, I mean, the defense is going to be good. I like McDermott as coach, so there's going to be a good team. I like this division, though, which is the thing, because the Jets obviously are a very exciting team. I think they're going to have a great year.
Yep.
Patriots, going to be a solid team.
Mm-hmm.
If Tua's healthy, Dolphins are going to be a very solid team.
Yes.
Very solid team.
Yes.
Might even say good. And so, yeah, I mean, I think the Bills are just great, and I just can't put them below any of these teams, even though this division is very good.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on the Bills. I definitely think they're a playoff team, 100%. But I have them second.
Okay.
I have the Jets overtaking them.
And
the Jets winning the division. I am
that, yep.
very high on the Jets this year. I love the Jets. I did a lot of podcasts when the whole Aaron Rodgers news was going on. I talked about the Aaron Rodgers news a lot because I thought if Aaron Rodgers gets his way to the Jets are so scary. And that's because their defense is unbelievable. They have the best corner in football in Sauce Gardner. He is the best corner in football. I don't want anybody not saying that. It's unbelievable how good this guy was as a rookie. It's crazy. And then Garrett Wilson has been taking a step up like no one's ever seen. He goes against Sauce every single day. Like, you can't not get better with that. And Aaron Rodgers loves his first receivers. Jordy Nelson was unbelievable with him. Devontae Adams was unbelievable with him. And if you guys think Aaron Rodgers is bad, like he just stinks now, it's just not true. He's so talented. It's unbelievable. And yes, you should be saying to me, "Oh, I'm a Lions fan. I can't be talking about Aaron Rodgers that way." He's not in Green Bay anymore. I don't really care. I actually like the guy now. I think he's hilarious. Okay. But like, I think the Jets are going to be very good with a top-tier defense, one of the best defenses in football. They also have Quinnen Williams, who I didn't even talk about.
Right.
One of the best.
I mean, you can go on and on about this team. I think they're kind of in that area with the Lions, the Seahawks, and the Jets. I think that's like this super young, talented, bright future kind of team. Teams just waiting for them to like just explode and go off.
Yes.
I mean, you talked about it. They got every position. They've got somebody that's either young or really good. Mm-hmm. And Aaron Rodgers is old, but he's still really good.
He's still really good. Yeah.
And I try not to give him too much attention because they got Hard Knocks and everybody's loving on him because Hard Knocks makes everybody look good. But
it's true.
They are going to be good.
Yes.
They're going to be very good.
Yes. And I haven't even watched Hard Knocks yet, so don't
sure
get me wrong.
Seen a couple Instagram clips.
I've seen a couple Instagram clips, but I haven't gotten
the one
there.
About Sauce and Wilson going at it.
Wilson.
Yeah,
that was a cool clip.
That one gives you goosebumps because those guys are going to run the league for the rest of their careers.
And I mean, looking at the rest of the division, I'm still very high on the Bills. I think the Dolphins are very good. It's going to, like you said, rely on Tua's health.
Yep.
And then with the Patriots, they finally have a real offensive coach. So hopefully that'll mean Mac Jones will look a lot better and their offense is actually going to run some offensive stuff and not be under Matt Patricia like we were for ages. So, I mean, if you're the Patriots, you should be very happy. And if you're the Dolphins, like, you got so many weapons. You got Tyreek Hill, who's one of the toughest players to guard in football. So it's going to be definitely interesting. I think that's the best division in football. But
I like that take.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a very exciting
I think it's also
year.
the best collection of coaches in a division.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So
I would agree with that.
And when you have a good coach, it's really hard to mess up a season when you have so much talent.
Mm-hmm.
And all four of these teams have that. So, I mean, the Patriots are a little bit lower than the other three, I think, but I think it's going to be hard for these coaches to honestly mess it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're set to have a great year.
I mean, I like the coaches in this division, but the next division we're getting into, I love the coaches in this one too, and that's the AFC North.
Okay.
Like, we both have the Bengals coming out, and we'll talk about the Bengals. But like, looking at the coaches, we got Zach Taylor, who's proven himself to be a great coach.
Yep.
Mike Tomlin, John Harbaugh, and then the Browns. It is what it is. I love those three. I love those three. That's fair with the East. But like, let's talk about the AFC North.
Okay.
We got the Bengals to start. So talk to me about the Bengals and what you expect for them this season.
I'm very excited about the Bengals this year.
Okay.
It might be a little quick bias change because I drafted Joe Burrow this year.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that they're just going to remain one of the top teams in the league. And Jamar Chase is going to go off. T. Higgins is going to go off. I think their defense is going to be solid. So, I mean, they're going to have a good year, and I'm excited to watch them.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the Bengals, like, it's just the same team. It's the same
Exactly.
team. I mean, they're bringing everybody back. I love their defensive coordinator. He runs a great defensive scheme that really gets in guys' heads. I mean, Mahomes couldn't beat them until the last game last year.
If you can beat Mahomes, you got a good coaching staff.
I mean,
so.
they beat him 3 times and confused him every single time. Didn't make him look good. And, I mean, sometimes it doesn't seem like it's possible with that dude. And they're able to do the impossible. So I love their coaching staff. It's unbelievable. Zach Taylor has definitely proven to be a great coach. Getting them back to the AFC Championship, I mean, that's just impressive. Like, they dismantled the Bills in Buffalo, which was very impressive to me. And then looking at the rest of the division, like, I'm high on the Bengals, and that's tier 1, 100%.
Right.
I think it's a real argument between the Steelers and the Ravens.
I think so, too.
And I feel like a lot of people would say, oh, my gosh, it's the Ravens, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think, like, the Ravens have given Lamar much help the past few years. I'm not a Lamar guy. I never have been. I didn't have him on my top 10 quarterbacks list. And
really?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
A lot
of people gave me that look. But I'm just not. I'm not a Lamar guy. I don't think he makes his teammates better. And I feel like that's part of it. They're not giving him much, but also he just hasn't done much either. You know, he has the one MVP season where people were hyping him so much. Guess what? They lost their first game. You know, he hasn't done anything that's making me say, oh, he should be a top 10 quarterback. It's the same thing with Dak Prescott, but Dak Prescott's actually had a playoff win now. Lamar hasn't. You know, which is shocking. He just has the MVP. So looking at that, that's why I'm so low on Lamar. But I just don't think he has enough help to make this team a competitive team. And if you're looking at a Steelers team who's young, upcoming, Kenny Pickett was starting to figure it out last year. I think he's going to have that second-year boost. I think he's easily the best quarterback from that draft class. I think he's going to have a second-year boost with George Pickens, who I also think will have a breakout year. I mean, you're giving him Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. Like, that's going to be scary. I like the Steelers a lot. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm not a Lamar. Like, I don't love him. But I think he is going to have a good season this year. I think under the new contract, I think the Ravens finally bought into him, and that will give him a sense of, like, this is my place, this is my team, this is the team that I want to bring to the championship. Because it was kind of like falling off towards the end of his rookie contract, and all that drama. But now he's got weapons. He's got Zay Flowers. He's got veteran OBJ. Hopefully he'll have a good year, but either way, he'll make Zay Flowers a better player.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mark Andrews will have a bounce back year. He kind of sucked at the end of the year last year, especially in fantasy. But I mean, hopefully their running backs. I mean, they have like 5 ACL tears last year.
Yeah,
like,
J.K. Dobbins and then Gus Edwards.
It was
right
unbelievable.
after it.
So
Unbelievable.
if they hopefully they got a whole new health staff. If they can keep those guys healthy and make the offense like an overall solid offense, no positions are lacking, you know what I mean? I think that they're going to have a solid year. But you're right, the Steelers are going to be very good. It depends on Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's got what it takes to get the job done, especially, like you said, with his weapons.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't talk about the defenses too much, but like looking at both defenses, they're so similar in the fact that there's so much talent.
Yeah.
Like Devin Bush is on one side, you got Patrick Queen on the other.
Yep.
You know, and you got great corners on both sides. You got Minkah Fitzpatrick in Pittsburgh. You got Humphrey in Baltimore.
Yep.
Like just
they
some
got Marcus
talent.
Peters
yeah,
too,
Marcus
right?
Peters over there.
Yeah, so
too.
I think I heard something about Marlon Humphrey. I think he might have he's having a health problem right now.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
I don't think it will affect the season too much. So
yeah,
the defenses are definitely going to be great for these two teams, and that goes down to Mike Tomlin's always been a great defensive coach,
Mm-hmm.
and John Harbaugh's always had it figured out. So hopefully they'll stay consistent in the defensive end, and then you just got to wait and see what the quarterbacks will help the offense to do.
Yeah, it might be a renewal of that rivalry.
Yeah,
because
that'd be awesome.
That
too.
rivalry was unbelievable in the Big Ben and Joe Flacco days. Like they were
That's
going
like
back
what we
and
grew up
forth.
on.
Yeah,
It was
we
awesome,
really
yeah.
grew up on that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. Maybe Kenny Pickett, Lamar time. That'd be interesting.
That would be
very interesting. All right. Do you want to talk about the Browns or no?
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm a big
about
Myles Garrett guy. I think he's gonna have another great year.
I think just Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
That's all we.
They're
really
both
need
going to
say.
be top 3, top 4, top 5 in their position, so they're going to be exciting to watch. But the rest of the team is like,
yeah. I mean, last year I
not
had
turning
to
that game on.
explain the whole Deshaun Watson situation,
Yeah.
and I don't want to talk about Deshaun Watson this year. I kind of
Yeah.
want to take a year off from that.
Oh.
So, yeah.
It would be very exciting if he got back to what he used to be able to do. That would make that division very interesting.
I don't think we have much hope in that, though,
No.
sadly. So,
No.
I mean, prove us wrong, Cleveland.
Prove us wrong, make it interesting.
Yeah.